Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some new parts for the CNC machine that I built a while back. I want to replace the Z-axis. I want to hide this and get this kind of buried. I've got a new design for my dust collection so that it's not kind of so in the way. So I'm going to kind of move some things around. I've got the parts laid out in two cuts or two sheets. My sheets are roughly 18 by 24. And I've got it all set up here on the machine. So let me load up the G-code now and we'll get to machining. Well, you guys probably saw it. If you didn't, look close, because I'm sure I ran this like 40 times or something like that, just so that it wouldn't be too boring. But plywood is not all the same, not even from the same sheet. Apparently it varies a little bit in thickness. My last piece did pretty good. The tabs were fine. This tab here broke away, but all the other tabs seemed to do good. Maybe that one didn't. For the most part, the tabs weren't bad. On this piece, I had the same tab. You know, everything was the same in theory, except for maybe my setup. Maybe I didn't have the Z depth quite the same, but I did have a couple mishaps. So this part here kind of got chewed up here as it got kicked around. Same thing happened with this part. You can kind of see it kind of got a little bit chewed up there as well. So I'm gonna have to recut these parts. It happens sometimes. I'm not sure really what I could have done differently, other than I think what I'll do is I'll change the thickness of the plywood. I think I have this set right now at 0.74, but I'll check it and I'll reduce it a little bit. I can always cut the part free and sand the little edge off, no problem. Parts are all cut. You can kind of see, you know, the ones that all came out of the pieces. So I'll try and get these cleaned up, and you know, obviously we'll paint everything blue. And basically this is going to go up here. I don't know if you can see that, but on top of that's my new top. So the hose, instead of coming off the side like that, it's going to come down. You can see my grounding wire there for the vacuum. But it's basically going to come out of the top, and it's going to hook in up here front instead of off to the side. What I was running into is with it shooting out the side like this, when it would try and come out here, I was hitting part of my machine over here on the right, and so I'm going to jet it out the front instead, and hopefully that'll help. And the other thing obviously that I did, you can kind of see here, is the design. Basically I changed the distance between the plywood backing here and how far it sticks out. Right now I can put almost 2 fingers between the plywood and where the router is. I can almost stick these 2 fingers in there. I get part way in anyway. So what I've done is I've reduced that distance to less than a finger's width, you know, my finger, so whatever that is. And then I've changed, obviously, since this is going to come out the front, I've put the holes here out the front, and instead of having this out here, I put that on the side. I put the pincher part on the side this time. So I'm thinking that might work. And if you guys have noticed on my machine here, I don't know if you can see that, but series of holes, there are 2 holes here and here, and I was putting the same holes in this. They are for a laser, a little crosshair laser that I have rigged up. Try and get it focused in to where I can use the laser to set my XY. I don't know if you guys, anybody that does any CNCing, it's real easy to set the Z, you know, when you're using, you know, a V carving bit such as this one here. The XY is real easy to set when you have a pinpoint like that. But when you're dealing with a 1/4 inch bit, it's a little bit trickier to kind of set that. And so my thought was to be able to use a laser for better accuracy. We'll see, I don't know. Anyway, some of the improvements that I got coming to the machine, like I said, are burying, taking this motor, putting it in the center. This is going to come out a little bit, which is why I compensated by getting the router pushed back as far as I could, trying not to lose too much travel. So, all right, I'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Still working on the router upgrades here to the CNC machine. I know I'm not running anything loud right now, but I'm going to try out my new IsoTunes headphone. I saw these on, channel was it? Well, I've seen them on a number of channels. I've seen these on MF Woodshop. I'm just trying to think of all the ones I've seen them on. I've seen them on a number, needless to say, a number of other YouTubers having these. I saw them at the woodworking show. And I almost bought some there. They had them at a discount, but I had a number of other purchases that day that I thought, well, I need to wait on that for a little bit. And so I went ahead and I pulled the trigger and I bought a set of these. They're kind of nice. I mean, they don't have a lot of cord. The cord, you know, if you have a bigger head, it looks like it'll compact around it. But basically, you know, like any other headphones, they just kind of go on your head and pop in the ears. But they have the, you know, the foam inserts like you would see, you know, the little orange ones that people use in their ear. So it's supposed to keep your hearing safe. So I'm going to use these to listen to some music here while I work on putting together some parts for the CNC upgrade. Okay, so again, what I'm doing is I'm taking one of these big screws. They are 3/8 16 by 3 inches, and I'm putting the kind of, I don't know if that's a brass washer or what that kind of washer is, but anyway, it's a washer that I got from McMaster-Carr with a lot of the other hardware. Then the V-groove bearing on that, followed by another one of those little washers. And then we're going to use a larger washer up against that. That provides us the clearance on either side of the bearing so that we're squeezing against the hub of the bearing. So that'll go in here. And then we will put a flat washer followed by one of the little round ones. Another one of our V-groove bearings. And another one of these little brass looking washers. And a nut. And I'm just doing this with my fingers for right now. This isn't going to stay. I just want to check some things here. All right, so one of the things that you can see that I did differently on my design here is I made, instead of having the what is that? That would be the x-axis here. Instead of having the x-axis rails, one fixed and one adjustable, that's a lot of adjustment all the way along there. I just don't think it's necessary. And I've had a lot of problems where it seems like it's nice and tight in some spots and too tight in others, and so I've had a lot of issues kind of fiddling with that. I should say I don't know if my issues are because I fiddle with that or if I'm fiddling with it to try and fix something. At any rate, what I did this time on this is I'm going to actually change that out at some point after I get this built. And so I made it so that this is adjustable, right? So the same kind of concept that was coming in here from the sides, if you can see that, where basically the bolt goes through here, and whoops, if I can get my finger in the right spot, this area here is intended for a one of those dowel nuts, and you'll go and push with a screw to push that in tight. Obviously I still have to get the rails mounted, and I want to do a chamfer on them, just like I saw on CNC Nuts channel. Peter did that. He built a jig, a 45 jig. He put the angle iron in there, and using his drill press, he ran it across the drill press to kind of grind it, so that instead of trying to wear a V on this, he actually went ahead and created the V on that ahead of time, so that the V groove bearing's right in there just fine. I got my other piece here that I still have to put in as well. That'll complete the bottom assembly. So that'll be kind of what I work on here at this point. I'm going to stop this recording for now and make some more parts.